Pickaxe.
The cleansing is officially released. Our 200 subbed patron goal allows you to witness the cast and crew get personalized readings from a psychic medium before we cleanse Vince's aura of the negative energy looming over him, hopefully curing him of his poor, cursed rolls. Early access for the cleansing is available for your viewing pleasure, along with ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes exclusive hangouts, extra bonus one-shots, and so much more to all subbed patrons over at patreon.com/castparty. So what are you waiting for? For less than the price of 1 cup of coffee per month, you can join the most wholesome community over on our private Discord, receive your bonus goodies, and support your favorite D&D podcast. Or maybe you just want to show some love and still get Discord access. Be sure to join our free tier. Yes, free. And you still get to hang with us over in our Discord. So what are you doing? Hop on over. We absolutely love chatting with everyone in the Discord, and we are all very active. Patreon.com/castparty. Thank you all so much for listening. Enjoy the episode, cast and crew.
Hello everyone and welcome to Fables of Fendraeya, Wyldacre. My name is Jose Polino, or at DM Jose G, and other fun socials that I'm currently trying to figure out, and I will be your director for today. I am joined by my ever-present and somehow still surviving cast and crew, so we'll just go ahead and introduce them in their beaten and battered stage, beginning with Ryan.
Hi, Ryan McManus, and I'll be playing Fiffin, the Maker Taker Hater Satyr with 8 HP. You can find me on my personals at Ryan.McManus or run in the Cast Party socials at Cast Party D&D.
And Nigel, you have to, the direction is that you all have to be beaten and battered. So give me your intro action.
Hello, Nigel Deacon playing Pond, your favorite froggy friend, hopefully finding a fix for his broken bones. You can find me at Nigel Sucks LMAO on every social that matters.
Betty.
Hi, I'm Betty. I am who.the.lovely on TikTok and Instagram. And I am actually sitting kind of fine at 14 out of 112.
Whoa. What? How do you have so much HP?
And finally, we have Seth.
Hey everybody, I am Seth, and I play Cheese the Dog, and you can find me at Noctopus on TikTok and Noctopus on Instagram and Threads, and I'm ready for another fight.
So last time we met, you all just finished this very long encounter, very dangerous encounter. This almost amalgamation of all the darkness that has been chasing you throughout this time. This lion-like figure transformed into a very dismembered, nightmare-like creature known as this Udak. In a field very much like home. Home more for Cheese and Pond. Within there were these crystals that were sort of residing, and each one containing an encapsulated form of the baby. With that, you cracked some of the crystals. You decided not to crack some of the other ones, as more and more of these dangerous creatures were sort of revealing themselves with every single crack. They were persevering throughout the fight, such as you were, but you managed to get yourself focused in. Quinn at one point used Floor to your assistance, very cheery, very happy. Seemed very happy to be helping fellow friends. And that last little bit of lingering tension, instead of Floor shooting off this ray of frost, almost like this ice-chilling kind of spell, there's this figure off in the distance, within the battlefield, that seemed to always be lingering, studying you all, observing everything you were doing. A test, it seemed, but then deciding enough was enough, And that's where we left off. As Quinn, when you see this vision of this individual with this long red hair that seemed to sort of almost sway and move like the tides, a very long beard that came down, a very strong presence, very sharp and narrow eyes with that faint white glow behind him, almost enough where you can't even make out more details. But you can sort of see these like regal-like robes, and it all sort of seemed to dissipate as it reached the floor. The figure vanishes, and the ground around you begins to crackle, almost like broken glass, as one by one, where you're all standing within this projection of the forest, the ground beneath you begins to shoot these beams of light, and one by one, the ground begins to break. What are you all doing?
Blinking a lot at just what's happening. I'm gonna start humming, give myself a single first level cure wounds as I'm looking around trying to orient myself with everyone, and I'm gonna walk over to wherever Quinn and Floor are. 7 HP. Floor. I'm so glad he's okay.
I know.
What is going on? Where are we?
I don't know. Are you alright?
Could be better, but could be worse. We got Floor. That's what's important.
You brought me back.
Anything for my friend. I'm sorry if it hurt a little when I touched you.
No, I'm grateful.
Anytime.
Sound off. How is everyone?
Okay, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm good.
We'll just congregate.
I don't know if we can stick around here for much longer. This place doesn't look super good for things to be.
Listen, are we sure that is the real floor, just before we continue on further?
I'm not even sure that this is the real Floor, and I tap my foot on the ground.
Don't do that, I feel like it's just gonna break underneath us.
Can we see a way to leave?
Make an investigation check.
Are we just supposed to fall with the floor and the other floor?
I will guide you, Pond.
23 pre-guidance?
Oh, damn.
I can still use the guidance. I like guidance. 26.
Pond, yeah, you look around as you sort of inspect the wooden glen around you. From the light, you almost see fireflies coming from the ground. It looks like there is something coming from underneath, perhaps. Something that seems to be allowing the space to connect with something else. So it does seem like something's clearly coming through, and as you're kind of looking around, you see before you the Udak and the Reverser and the Absorber and all these different creatures. And the Absorber, the one that sort of looks like a dog with no eyes with the one tail, you see that from its back, once it was defeated, it began to form that similar O-ring. And you see that slowly, as the O begins to reveal itself, the skin begins to sort of crackle and burn under the vibrancy of the same light that now is beginning to take up the space around you. And underneath, you begin to now see almost like black fur that's been singed and burned. And eventually, as the ground beneath begins to break, you see what looks like what once was a displacer piece that falls through the glass. And as it falls through, more fireflies begin to come out from that space. The Udak itself begins to shrink, and from the distance you see the sort of snake-like monster, the nullifier, that its mouth begin to burn and singe off. And there before you see very humanoid-esque individual, essentially a Yuanti, snake-like humanoid quality, but all of that detail begins to burn off. And there you see fairly tan looking skin, gashes and burns and scratches, a battle-torn individual. But the rest of the body sort of remains. It's just the one little open area next to it that opens up, and that's where its arm is sort of dangling through.
I think we have to go down to get out.
Do we seek that out, or do we just wait for the floor to fall beneath us?
I see some fireflies over there. Maybe that's a safer way?
That seems like something we should interact with. It's glowing gold. I think it begs to be.
Oh, like the thread!
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That is what I was thinking as well.
Large brains. This whole party, I'm telling you.
Think alike.
If we have to go down there, I'd rather do it on my terms than wait for the glass to fall beneath us.
Right, I agree.
Can someone help me load Floor into the cab?
Yes. Will he say hi to everybody? Say hi, Flo.
Hi, everybody.
He knows the word everybody. That's crazy.
Who taught him that?
Didn't you just say hi, everybody? Didn't you technically teach him that?
Oh my god, I did.
I didn't learn multisyllabic words for 3 weeks since I got here.
What's syllabic?
I have one of those word-a-day calendars.
Oh. God, I've been meaning to get one of those.
What's a calendar?
Oh, buddy.
We got a lot to talk about.
I'll load him in.
Thanks, Quinn.
Of course, my dear.
Clip on cheese.
All right, we're gonna jump in a big hole now, okay?
You see as the reverser with the dog-like face but this green scale-looking like body, as it sort of stands and begins to shrink as it's being burned off by the vibrancy of the lights. It shrinks ever so small until eventually it just shrinks into a very familiar size. Upon, you would see this almost like a bullywog. It continues to burn as the color from it fades, and then the Uda continues to shrink. And there you see an owlbear with no feathers, no texture to the skin, just this defeated creature, all bearing this mark. You all place Floor onto the carriage.
I would like to go over to the owlbear and see if it's still over there.
Quinn, you walk over. Right now, it's just an owlbear that is dead, laying on the ground as the light sort of begins to crack around it. You would have to move it to sort of see underneath. As you remember, the shard was sort of like embedded into the chest of this more gargantuan-looking creature.
Will someone give me a hand over here? And I'll start to try and move it to get to where I know the shard is.
I'll give you 2.
I can do my best with leverage. Will that help?
Sure.
I'll just yank at one of the ankles or something.
All of you begin to push this creature over, and as you push it, your hand almost like sinks through as pieces of its body begin to dissipate. And as you turn it over, there, lying on the ground, this rectangular looking piece that looks like a piece of a mirror almost, but has like a fog-like quality to it. And it's fairly thick, maybe like an inch or 2, and it just lays there on the ground.
We should probably take that, right?
Right. I'll snag it. I don't have anything I think this would fit in. Does anyone have anything better to transport it with? I'll like put it on the ground in front, and I'll like I'll take my little glass, look at the glass with my glass, and see if I can't find anything cool about it.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, ooh, okay. 19 on the dice, plus 11 is a 30.
You begin to look at it, and as you see it, that fog-like, hazy sort of look to it, essentially almost like a glass that hasn't been polished or cleaned. There you see in the corners, there are these like tendrils very deep within, almost like lights. They sort of look like veins within this piece of glass. And then you see, as you begin to focus on it, that fog-like look begins to move like a curtain. And you see from the other side, as a hand gets the curtain and peels it back, and an eye, and this pearly white skin that goes, "Congratulations."
Quinn is gonna jump back. Did anyone else see that?
That was a good jump you did.
Don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Right. I think I'm just losing my mind. Okay, good.
Now, this isn't the glass shard that we need for the bridge. Is it?
It definitely is.
Okay.
I'm 100% confident it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Perfect. All right. We have accomplished what we came here for.
Go team.
Okay, all that's left is the big hole, I guess.
The getting back part is gonna be tricky.
Fiffin, do you have any place you could put this?
I got a bag or something.
Safe. Any safe place you can put this?
Oh, you want safe? Toss it in the cab with floor.
I was gonna say, we got a little tiny moving truck.
A
much.
little baby U-Haul. I will put it in the cab with Floor. Now keep this safe, my friend.
Floor grabs it like it would be like a stuffed animal and holds it. I'll keep it safe.
Floor!
Fiffin!
Okay,
We jumping?
I'm here. I'm going now.
Do it! I dare you!
Don't try and stop me.
No one is.
We're right behind you. Go ahead.
No one's trying to stop. Okay.
All you, buddy.
All right. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Was someone? I thought I heard someone. Was someone trying to stop me? I thought I heard somebody.
I think Pond coughed. That's okay.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Did you say pond go off?
Sure.
I can.
Anyone but me.
Okay. Pond jumps off.
Oh.
Oh my god.
You jump off pond, and when you jump, you almost feel as if you immediately lose all sense of gravity, and you begin to float.
Whoa.
And then immediately you're shot through, and all you see is this light that sort of blinds you for a second, until you begin to sort of feel gravity take effect again, and you're transported back onto the same stained glass floor from before. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, what the hell? 5.
You immediately, for whatever form it looks like, throw up. Too quick and too sudden.
It is the entire stomach, just onto the ground.
So all of you guys essentially just saw Pawn really just kind of like step into this blinding light, and that was it.
Is it a good thing that he's gone forever?
All right. Here we go.
Let's go.
I'll dash in.
Cannonball.
You feel that blinding sensation immediately followed by the loss of center and gravity. I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw.
+1, 17.
7.
Cheese, you sort of land back alongside Pond, finding your footing amongst the stained glass floor, immediately followed by Fiffin. And Fiffin, the minute you land next to Pond and Cheese, you...
Oh, I can still taste the pie.
Oh, you stepped on my stomach.
And I rolled a 9.
Quinn emerges and you unleash.
It's a single owl pellet. No one touched that.
All of you emerge back through essentially where you were before. Around you, though, the stained glass that you're standing on, that at the end housed this throne where Floor was sitting earlier, where that throne now stands, this kind of mixed form of when lava solidifies and it becomes that black sort of island-like texture, but it's mixed with this beautiful piercing diamond quality at the center of it as well. And it's the two of those pieces naturally formed that kind of make up this throne. And when you arrive, you feel at ease.
Wow, that was a lot.
Is the Archdevil waiting for us, or do you think we can just waltz on out? Irish could buy this thing.
I mean, we have the piece, right?
Yeah, that's all we need. Oh, you have a wish. Oh, shit.
Right.
Wait, if it was under the beast, that was the shard. So the Archdevil wants the shard for the wish? Are we gonna give the Archdevil the shard? Or are we gonna take the shard and put it in the mirror?
Oh.
We can't give him the shard. If that's the exchange, I mean, that's not really much of a deal. We need the shard.
Maybe we still get our wish, because all he wanted was just to talk to the Archfey. I mean, if we have the piece, we can pop it in, we can all cross the bridge, the Archdevil can come with us, and then we get our wish at the same time. That's pretty sick.
Everybody wins.
God, I hope so.
I can't imagine a deal with the devil ever not working out. Let's go find him.
This time we are holding hands, eyes on the back of the head in front of you, okay? We are not having a repeat of last time, yeah?
Yes, line leader.
Thank you. And I'll hold my hand out to, I would assume Fiffin.
Mm-hmm.
To all hold hands.
But I can't touch Pond.
Yeah, you know for a fact that we can't do that 100%.
You know what?
I'll just walk closely. It's fine.
Pond can grab the cab.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there
Yeah,
we
I
go.
think that's a great idea.
Perch up on top. Be lookout.
Oh.
Good idea.
Oh my god, if we could get sidecars so that everyone could sit on it.
Jeez, I love you.
I'll just drag the whole party.
Fiffin's eyes just bulge out of his head. Mind is racing.
Hop on top.
I'll grab the thread.
You grab onto it, Quinn, and the entire thread sort of like lifts up. And as it does, you see the same sort of cluster of small forms of islands almost smashed together back into the path that led you here. But there is like those same sort of fireflies. You see them now lighting up the space before you.
Follow the thread.
Pond, you're sitting on top of the carriage, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Pond.
Hi, Floor.
It was really dangerous the last time we came through here, wasn't it? And now look at all of us. We'll just be able to make it through. Isn't that great?
You learned a lot of words while you were in Crystal.
Yeah, now I feel like I can see clearly. Like these words are just coming to me more naturally. It's really quite amazing. Like you're a creature much different than me, and that's really really fun.
You're so right. It took me so long to learn all of the words that you're saying here, I think.
Are you old?
I'm an adult, but I'm not old.
Wow, that's really great, because I know that I'm a baby.
You sure are.
And I know that the way that I'm thinking is unlike the way that you probably thought when you were a baby. I mean, right? Is Cheese old?
I don't think so. Although I've never seen anything like him before, so I don't know how long they live.
Oh, Cheese is a puppy. I've seen a lot of puppies. He's a good boy.
Oh. Yeah, he's a good friend.
Cheese's tail wag a little bit.
You guys begin to journey through these makeshift islands. There is a very energetic kind of touch to Floor. He can now just sort of form these sentences and speak and talk. The entire time you guys are walking, he says things like, so if you all killed that one bird person, I think it was like hee-haw. Do you all now, do you all have guilt now?
Whoa, we're getting into some deep topics that I thought we wouldn't have to deal with.
No. Killing is a natural part of the ecosystem.
Thanks, Pond.
Well,
It's completely natural. It happens everywhere.
That's great. When I grow up, I want to kill as much as you guys do.
Great.
Whoa,
wrong.
Do you see what you've done, Pond?
No, wrong.
You already have.
Is that killing? Oh, that's right, I did. I did my first killing.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ!
We are so derailed already. We're terrible parents.
How much do you remember from being encased in crystal?
Yeah, what was it like in the Jasper?
And you see as he turns his back, and I'll say, Quinn, you probably notice this as well. There is a small layer that remains of the Jasper.
Oh, do we still have to do that?
Do we have one more drop? I think we have one more drop.
I think we do.
But the Jasper was good. It felt cold. I couldn't really form any thoughts or anything. It felt like I was frozen in time, perpetually waiting for things to finish. But apart from that, it was very, very nice.
What an existential nightmare.
I feel like my mind is racing a little bit. It's kind of fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and push a lot of what you just said way, way deep down. That one's going way down in the lockbox for another time.
And I think we call that trauma.
Who taught you that word?
I'm afraid of what's gonna happen in the coming days with how smart you're gonna be. That's terrifying.
Are you afraid, Fiffin? Because I couldn't speak and now I can speak? Because I too have been very aware of that since I started speaking.
It's very rapid growth that I've never seen before. It's fascinating, but scary. Which I usually like, not in this case.
There is so much magic everywhere, though. Is this so strange? I mean, I used to eat these things, and now this one's talking to me.
Wow. Pond was gonna kill me?
Well, no.
He used to.
I stopped. I got better.
Now that's growth.
Wait, do you know where you came from? Not like biologically, but like why you're here.
I just remember the grass around me was really cold. I remember that I felt very alone, and it felt like every time I blinked, it felt like sparks of light were shooting off everywhere. It was a really great awakening. You know, if we're being really honest here, it felt right.
You know, I think I might have met your mama and daddy.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't remember you at all.
Well, I saw someone, and they were giving birth to a baby, and I thought it looked a lot like you. I don't know, maybe it was a long time ago.
Most babies look the same.
They do kinda.
Not me. I'm pretty cute.
That's true.
Well, here's the thing, Floor. You called Pond and Quinn Mama already? So, like, it can't be these two. So I think Cheese is right here.
Quinn reminds me of Mama.
That's so cute.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Quinn will drop back a little bit and open the cab, kind of as we're going. Turn over, dear.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put the last of the drops on the Jasper.
And you watch just slowly as the Jasper on its back begin to coil back. But now that you sort of take the time to look at it, there was way more Jasper before, but now this is just like the little bit that remains.
Does this look like the real Floor? Is there anything suspicious about him?
You can do two things. You can do an investigation check, or you can do an Arcana check.
All right, which one? I'm better at investigation. I want to do Arcana. Only 13.
You look at Floor. You're noticing as Quinn is administering the medicine, you're looking at the Jasper. There is a lot of very similar things that you're just aware of. You've been around this baby for some time now. You recognize him. Seems exactly like Floor. However, you remember that Floor's eyes had this like blue, shimmering, diamond-like glow. You see that still on the eyes, but the eyes now have this almost like veins that come out from the pupils into the rest of the eyes. You see them almost like pulsing. And it just basically looks like fragments of his eyes are pulsing with what could be described as some arcane energy within that is just pulsing through.
Do you feel okay, Floor?
Define okay.
I can't.
Okay.
Do you feel healthy? Does your head hurt?
Yeah. A lot.
Oh.
I'm gonna walk over to the cab, and I want to take the bark gauntlet and just try to hover my hand over Floor as I sprinkle some little firefly dust over him. I would love to cast Identify on Floor if that's at all possible. It's you choose an object. It must be a magic item or some other imbued object. Now, I don't know if you would consider Floor an object. I know we're not supposed to objectify human beings, but like in this case...
It's a baby. Like babies aren't...
He's baby!
And as I sprinkle the dust over top of him, just don't breathe this in, please. It could get stuck in your lungs forever. Everyone, if this changes color, I should hopefully know if something's wrong with him. Magically, at least.
As you place your gauntlet hand over Floor, you have, gems and things that begin to glow when you cast your spells. Mm-hmm. But even you just putting your hand over Floor immediately triggers all of those lights.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
And you would know this from your background and your experience tinkering and messing around with things. It's very much like a battery. And you put your hand over, and it's almost like you sort of begin to surge with arcane potential. Ooh. Almost as if the ley lines of the world sort of become clear to you. And you see where all magic is pouring from. You can almost, for like a brief second, as you begin to cast Identify, you allow your mind to dig deeper within the sense of the magically imbued arcane touch sort of like atmosphere. You connect with it all. You see it all. You see this almost like the same golden thread that Quinn is holding on to. there's these like little threads of colors, greens and purples and yellows and whites, all linking back to your arm, to floor, to his eyes, his legs, all of his fingers. There's one point that connects you directly to Quinn's forehead. There's another point that connects to Pawn, and there's about 6, 7, 8, 10 counting all around. You see it all as you cast Identify.
I've been enlightened. I saw it all. Everything.
There is a dominant presence of every single school of magic attempting to pierce through this almost like bubble that exists around your gauntlet and floor and the carriage, and you sort of see like all these needles attempting to slightly pierce that bubble. And you notice that Pond and Cheese, they share in those, but these needles, these magical lines, they fully pierce through it.
Interesting.
So you would gather that floor has a lot of magic that it's constantly trying to be imbued by.
The dust, usually when I use this spell, will change a specific color based off of the school of magic that is revealed. But in this case, I feel like as it falls, it's just fireworks of all different shapes and sizes and colors just inside this little cab. I can't pick out a single thing. I was hoping I might be able to see if like something was specifically wrong with him. I think he's just overloaded. I saw everything. I saw it all. I see it to you guys, I see it to me, but oh my god, I see it to Floor. Every line of magic imaginable is leading up to this baby.
It's a little scary to think about.
Are you a human baby?
I am?
Oh, I have one question for you, Floor.
Okay, yeah, let's ask questions because now I'm a fountain of knowledge.
Okay. A little rude.
That was sarcastic as hell for some reason. The shade behind that.
There's a lot of shade. Do you know what your actual name is? We've been calling you Floor this whole time because we found you in the floor. But I can't imagine that's what your parents named you.
Well, earlier when you were saying that you were there when I was born, see, I don't remember that part. So, I mean, you could have. I don't think you were though, but you could have been. I don't remember a lot of how would you say it? A lot of then. I just really remember a lot of now. I remember the grass, and I remember being picked up by that fawn-looking person, and then I remember a big bright light, and then there was another person that took me, and then I was in that shop, and then you guys came, and then I did some magic, and then you guys were so scared.
Wait, a fawn-looking person?
Is he talking about Yermo?
Mm-hmm.
You've met Yermo before?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. He's who got me. From the grass.
Oh, he found you. He didn't bring you here. Okay. All right, less suspicious, I guess.
Yeah, but I was just with Mama, and then I wasn't.
Do you remember what your mom looks like?
Not really. I remember how she made me feel.
Oh, tell us about that.
Well, it's kind of how Quinn makes me feel. I'm here, and I matter, and somehow you just have to figure out how to protect me, because I'm kind of unpredictable.
And we love that about you.
Oh, thanks.
Love's a strong word.
My head still hurts.
Pond will lean down to Floor and be like, Quinn makes me feel the same way too. I don't know if she should know that though.
Hey, Quinn.
Yes, dear?
Pond said that he also feels the same way.
No, Floor! And the thing closes. If you've never seen a frog blush before, now you have.
Pond, are you feeling all right?
I'm so good. Actually, I could really use a nap.
Oh my god, same. Do you think the Archdevil will let us crash at his place for a little bit?
I don't want to crash at the Archdevil's place.
What you're saying then, Quinn, is we have to go talk to the Archdevil, we have to get Pond's wish, and then we have to walk all the way back to the bridge. We have to put the fucking shard into the barrier, we have to cross the bridge, and then we have to finally go to the celebration, and then we're going to be too excited because we're at the celebration and we're not going to want to sleep, but we're all really exhausted and tired and hurt when we should be sleeping.
Fiffin. I can't think past right now. 10 seconds in the future is all I've got, my friend. That's all I've got.
That's more my speed. That's what I'm talking about.
I can shorten that. I can shorten that whole speech to 10 seconds if you want.
No, I think you're right. I think we do need to find somewhere to rest. I'll find us somewhere safe. I think after we find the Archdevil, we can rest before going back to the people who need the shard. Shit, you might be right. Shit! We'll figure it out.
Yermo and his group, they've got to rest at some point. We'll just sleep when they sleep.
That's right. I think when we go back, maybe it'll be night. Maybe we should just be optimistic.
How long have we been traveling since we last rested?
It definitely feels like it's been about a day.
Okay. Pond, while also looking visibly beaten, is also looking pretty dry right now. If I go 24 hours without resting in water, then I suffer exhaustion.
Oh no. Buddy. We'll find somewhere to rest. I think we just have to keep moving forward.
Gotta check in with the Archdevil at least.
Absolutely.
You guys continue following the thread, and Cheese, you begin to hear. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here.
I stop dead in my tracks. If anyone's looking, they would see my ears angling around trying to pick up the source.
Come on. We're just going on a little trip.
Shh. Do y'all hear that?
I hear something. Like a weird instrument.
No. It's like a voice. I can hear a voice.
Yeah, well, you're speaking.
Does the voice sound familiar?
You know this voice very well.
Yeah, can you guys take over carrying dragging the cab, please? Someone, I don't want to drag you all along.
Wait, no, I don't think we should split up.
We can't leave the thread.
No, we can't.
But I hear a voice. I hear the voice. It's the voice again.
Cheese, what do you remember about the last time you were at home and you were with her?
Cheese would remember that Marakar was busy packing. She had a job over international lines, and so that meant a lot of packing so that they could get on the trail. And this is something that Cheese would have been used to, and he probably followed her around as she was, cleaning stuff up, packing things. But after a while, I think he'd just lie in his bed and just kind of watch.
You all see as one of the fireflies project this hazy-like image of Cheese sitting on a bed. And then the light from the firefly connects to Cheese. Cheese, you're still looking ahead, but you all see this on your right.
I don't know. I heard the voice again, and I know I've been tricked by that voice before, but I'm telling you right now, I won't ever not fall for it. And if it's the...
Cheese, we can't let you fall for it.
That's not really up to you. And I am gonna shadow step out of the harness. I'll catch up, I promise. And I'm gonna go try and find that voice.
You guys watch as Cheese separates from the cart, and you begin to run straight ahead. As you begin to run, all of you see the fireflies, the lights, they begin to glow in a brighter light. And you see almost like screens, almost similar to Cheese running behind this woman hiding in the shadows. You see this woman hiding behind a wall, picking up an individual by the head, bringing them back behind and slashing their neck, bringing them down, and then Cheese just off in the distance watching. And then Cheese, you continue running. And now I'll ask you, do you remember how you came here to Wyldacre?
The series of events that led up to it, we were in a forest in a caravan.
All of you see this caravan.
I was in one of the wagons along with Marakar and several other families when this sort of invisible force, don't know exactly what it was, started destroying wagons. Wagon after wagon splintered and cracked and exploded. I dove out of one side of the wagon and Marakar dove out of the other side before ours was also splintered.
And you see it almost like like these crutching from above the cart splintering off. You see the carts that are almost like flipped over, and each one of the carts after another, just one after another, begins to just sort of like completely separate. And then you sort of see the jump between the two as they leap from the cart.
And then this fog started to roll in, and it made it really hard to see anything. Cheese was running around, frantically trying to find anyone. Most people had fled. And by the time he had decided to stop and take a breather, he was out of the fog and not that much further away from town. No one else in sight.
And you all see this. As Cheese, you continue to run, and you hear, "Come here, boy. Just a little more. Come here. Come here, boy." And in that vision, away from Cheese, Fiffin, Pond, and Quinn, you see Marikar. This woman standing amongst all this empty, dead space, seemingly lost. She draws a blade and calls out, "Cheese? Come here, boy. Come here. Come here." And that's the same voice that you hear, Cheese. "Come here, boy." You see as she turns around, and in that moment when she turns, you can almost see her like being engulfed by this white light and this hand that reaches out and grabs the top of her head and yanks her into the mist. The crying for you stops, Cheese.
Marikar, Mari! Where are you? I can't see you. Cheese is panicked. He's kind of just running in circles.
You all from the distance see Cheese calling out for Marikar, this dog alone, off in the distance amongst a sea of floating stars. But you all saw this mist-like hand grabbing her, and with a look of fear in her eyes, she was drawn in. And the fireflies, their lights diminish, and the space lies before you, untouched and unbothered as before.
Cheese! Come back!
Cheese hears you, looks back, realizing that once again he's been sort of tricked. I think he sits down, and I think he just kind of howls for a little bit. And then he stops, slowly picks himself back up, trots back to the group, head down, tail down, ears down, kind of humiliated, very slowly puts the harness back on. "I'm sorry. I thought maybe this time was it. I won't be tricked by it anymore."
If you are, it's okay. Just let us come with you. We don't want you getting separated from us, not when we're here. Not when we have something so important to do.
He nods, just slowly picks up the pace again.
Pond, what do you remember about your time before coming here?
Pond was lost in the woods. He had been searching for the person that he thought could be his friend. He had heard from the other warriors in his village that there was someone that gifted them these pastries, that this person held one of them, and he thought this could be his chance, so he left on his own. He abandoned his village, and he went into the woods and got so lost. He was without water, he didn't have much food, just wandering through. When truly all hope was lost, he found himself in Wyldacre, and he saw the water ahead, and he jumped into that pond where Cheese found him.
You see in the floating space around the islands, that's just the infinite cosmos and beyond, there's like almost like a rippling water effect that is happening by these fireflies. And you're sort of thinking about this moment. You see you, yourself, running and being lost, and you remember that feeling again. But from the water below, almost like swimming under the ocean, this white beam of light that's trailing you as you're running and running and running. And that desperation, that feeling of helplessness comes to you again. But now you sort of feel that perhaps in that moment there was something else that was actually trailing you. And you feel the fog take you, and you feel yourself back in town. And when you arrive at town, just before you took that plunge, you see these hands extend out, these white spectral hands, almost floating into space, and you leap into the pond in town. And as you splash, the two white hands, they come up, and they sort of like shell above you before you pierce through to get some air, feeling rejuvenated with these hands ever so lingering in the space around you. You can all sort of make this out, but it doesn't really make too much sense. There is a lot of like familiar visages that you can sort of make out, like the outskirts of town. It's all these sort of weird projections though that you're seeing. From looking at Pond, from looking at Cheese as well. Are they memories? Are they what happened? How do they happen? Are we seeing them from another perspective? And then you hear, "Help me. Help me, please." Off in the distance.
All of us or just me?
All of you.
Who was that?
Quinn, you recognize this voice.
I don't trust it.
"Please. My wing. It's broken. Please, I can't see. It's dark."
I mean, trust it or not, it sounds like he needs help.
Is the voice coming from where the thread is going?
Yeah.
We're right here by your side, if you need to do this.
We continue forward. If we can all hear it, it can't just be in my head, right?
Unless we're all in your head. Ooh.
Quinn's eyes just go really big for a second.
No, we're here. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
No, I think you're right. All right, I say we continue. Let's just continue. We'll run into it.
"Please. I have a child." You hear almost like what sounds like the echoing sounds of footsteps.
How far ahead of us does it sound?
Not too far, but there's nothing before you. It's just the golden thread that leads back to the islands and the clusters and the sort of the place where you begun this journey. It just keeps going, but the voice is coming from that direction. "You've been pestering me. You do not need to know what I do in these lands. I have to. I have to protect all the creatures. I have to do it. Please, show mercy." "Mercy? I knew 2 creatures who begged for mercy, and they did not receive it. And now I am boiling with righteous anger. I am not aware of what has become of those creatures. I just know that if you let me go, no harm will come to you." "No harm? You think I am afraid of you? I fear nothing." Ah! You hear the sound of screaming and almost like something breaking off in the distance. "I promise I'll get back to her. You have to let me go, please." "Better yet, I'll leave you here and let the acre take you. It'll fill me with joy." These footsteps seemingly trailing off, and then you just hear Quinn. "Quinn, if you can hear me, I don't know at this point how far you are, but I love you. And I would do anything to get back to you. But I don't think I can. I don't think I can right now, my sweet girl." And then you hear a familiar voice. "Oh, goodness." And in that brief moment all of you sort of see it before you. A mist of water rising above and a light coming from the other side. You see in this image an owl, much more mature, resembling the feathers of Quinn, but her wings are broken. Bit of blood trailing through the ground. And from the distance where you heard that voice, you see Yermo. Oh, goodness. We have to get you some help. Please, he'll come back. No need to fear. He won't be coming around these parts again. And in that brief moment, like a beam of light, Yermo coils back and speeds at such an incredible speed that this water mist before you that was projecting the image, it fades. And you hear from the distance where the golden thread is leading you back to what sounds like muffled conversations.
Quinn is, because she had just told Cheese not to do exactly what her impulse would be, which is to just sprint forward. Her feathers are fluffed and she's just like gritting her beak and like every once in a while is like snapping her beak, trying to keep herself from just like sprinting into the forest. When it goes quiet or when it's just talking to Quinn, there's like a light cooing that kind of comes from her that I don't think any of you probably have heard, that sounds calmer than Quinn maybe has felt ever.
Are you okay, Quinn?
Let's pick up the pace. Quinn is going to start going faster. And he's going to intentionally be in front of people.
I'll lean down to Pond. She's determined about something. I don't know what, but I've only seen her like this when it's important.
Then we've got to be there for her.
Yeah. She just puts those blinders on, head up, and charges in. That's what I love about her. But god damn it, it's hard sometimes.
You begin to pick up the pace, and you're heading over, Quinn, and as you guys are running, you now hear the familiar voice of the Archdevil. Why do you bring this to me? In that familiar tone, you hear the voice of Yermo. I have no choice. I just see this creature lying there helpless on the ground. No, but why? And you guys are picking up the pace faster and faster. Why do you bring this to me? Because I cannot do anything with this, and you know that. The Archdevil you hear in this voice, the anger and the frustration coming out, the opposite side speaking, weak. That's what you are, weak. Yermo, I will not take that tone from you, you misshapen creature. And the Archdevil back, I am this creature by choice, not privileged like you. I never said I was privileged. I only mean to help. And I bring you a creature that needs you. She's dying. And as you continue to run, these sort of like visions passing by you amongst the sea of stars on the trail of islands that are leading you back where this all begun, like streetlights on the freeway, where they illuminate a piece and they go dark and then another piece and they go dark. He says, I do not care what you do with this creature. Just let it live. This is home for all of us. You hear as the Archdevil goes, but if it's meant to die, it's meant to die! And as you're running and you're passing through all these lights, visions, and images, you hear a voice say, Papa, you're not going to help this creature? This small little automaton squirrel, you can hear it and you see it off in the distance. You see the snake and the bull.
You're not gonna help this creature.
You helped us. You watch as the Archdevil turns around. You are all special. You are all much different. You are all gone beyond the point of no return. You should be thankful. And the creatures quiver back in fear. We never said we weren't thankful, but this creature needs you. I knew of some kindness a long time ago. Other creatures that risked their lives for me beyond the point of no return. And look at where it's landed us. Speak for yourself. The sort of more elegant side of the Archdevil speaks. And Yermo says, I do not care for your bickering and your back and forth. Will you help this creature or not? I will do what I can, but she may not be the same. And in that moment, as you're running and the lights are passing past you, you sort of come to the space that the Archfey calls home. Almost like appearing before you, like almost as if no time has passed. And there in front of you, the very first thing you see, Quinn, staring right back at you, with those big eyes, one automaton and one not. That owl that resembles your mother. You see her staring at you with her head cocked. Recognition process started. You hear from the distance, so you've returned. Seems you all survived.
Barely.
Quinn is just staring at the owl, waiting for the recognition process to complete.
You watch as the Archdevil turns around, that same half devil-like with the one curling horn, and then the other side with the cinched off hair, broken horn. Very human-like quality to it, but a very beaten and battered face. Very well then. Now we don't have much time. You've been gone for days now.
What?
Oh, wow.
Days. 2 days to be precise.
We missed the whole freaking festival at this point.
No fear. It's a festival. There'll be plenty of jokes and laughter and music and things. You have time, but I do not.
Don't have time for what?
He extends his hand and looks over to you, Fiffin. Like I mentioned, I have personal business with the Archfey. And he just sort of stands there now with the red devil-like hand coming out, waiting to be presented with the item.
If we give this to you, we're still going to be able to go see the Archfey, right? Like you're going to use this to fix the thing and then we can go?
Absolutely. It is in my interest as well as yours to see the Archfey. Darkness is taking a hold of these lands, and all of you have felt it. Looks over to you, Fiffin, and some of you have even seen it. It is toying with your minds, and what I fear is that if this same darkness has taken a hold of the Archfey, then we must act quickly.
From what we've heard about the Archfey so far, at least in the couple days prior to before the couple days that we were gone here, he doesn't sound like the greatest of individuals.
Nobody is.
The accounts of the pixies was damning.
Pixies tell a tale of grief and sadness. Back when the Archfey was, well, different. This place takes a hold of you in such a way that imagine for a brief second what your mind would be like if you were in charge of all of it. But this is our home.
Can you give us the slightest little window into what you plan on talking to the Archfey about? Just before we, hand over the key to his front door?
Make a persuasion check.
17.
The Archdevil puts his hands down and he walks over to you, getting really close. You have the power to create, Fiffin. Yet you create a treehouse. Why a treehouse?
It's where I felt secluded. Safe. I did this growing up, and kind of burnt my parents' house down. If I'm up high, I can't do that to anyone else but me.
Very well. I'll let you see. And he extends his tiefling hand.
Now, do you want my hand or do you want the thing? I'm so sorry.
He doesn't say anything, he just waits.
Okay, but I asked a question for an answer before I handed it over, so that's just why I'm curious. Because
Give me your hand.
There it is.
Just touch his hand.
Put my hand up.
You touch the Archdevil's hand, and you see this beautiful land, continent, massive, expanding, beautiful trees, long mountain ranges, tall castles and homes. A name whispers into your mind. Fendraeya. You see all of it before you, and you see from the distance that same fog you've been seeing in the visions beginning to roll in amongst all the trees and the outskirts of every region and city and town. And you see that same white spectral hand just clutching one individual after another, and then the vision sort of zooms out so you can see and take in the bigger picture, and comparatively what's happening is so small compared to the vast universe. You see it all existing and clashing, merging together, and then you see that white spectral hand that just reaches over all of the planes of existence, and your vision fades. And you're brought back to town on that stage with the mayor and everyone, and you hear it again. Omen, 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 omen. And you hear the Archdevil. There is an influence, Fiffin, that means to toy with you. Out of anger, hatred, and above all, out of sadness. And you hear these voices you haven't heard before. I'll do everything to rid myself of you, brother. And I of you, brother. Then let us find a way to do so. You really think we can? It would certainly make Father proud. You hear those voices sort of like whispering in your ear, coming in and out, as everyone in town continues to chant, Omen, 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 Omen. And from behind you, Fiffin, you hear, can't you see why I'm doing this? The people in the crowd here in town disperse, and you see an image of Floor inside of the carriage. And from next to you, that same figure that's been toying with you, engulfed in the white light with the red hair that sways like an angry breeze. You see this figure thunder over in the direction of Floor. And he turns over, blinding light. You can't see any details, just the red hair permeating from the back. This is why, Fiffin. There is something out there that wants more, and I don't know how to warn the Archfey. This individual, Fiffin, he's inside your mind. He's inside everything.
I'll go over to the cab, say Floor, unlatch it. Sorry there, bud. I'll grab the piece and bring it over and display it out in my hand.
And as you're holding it, that same glass-like smudge look remains with those crackling corners of pulsing energy. And the Archdevil with just 2 fingers reaches above and grabs it. Very well. I think it's time for us to meet with Your Highness, the Archfey. And as he turns around, all of you hear, recognition process completed. You hear all kinds of mechanical noises, processing and then stopping as the owl flumps over and you hear the mechanical eye blink as it looks up, turns around, looks all over, and then sees you, Quinn, and says, "Do I know you?"
No.
"You look like someone I love very much." And in that moment, the tension is sort of broken by the sounds of that little automaton owl shouting back, "Mama, Mama!" And the more mature looking owl picks up the baby one. And as it stares into its eyes, Quinn, you see this moment between mother and child. And the big owl says, "Well, hi, Miss Quinn. Would you like to say hi?" As Quinn, this mother, presents the smaller owl to you by the name of Quinn. And then she looks up to you and says, "And what was your name?" And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Why would you do that to me?
The heartbreak.
Lord.
Thank you all so much for listening. Catch us in 2 weeks, where the celebration is about to begin.